Hello, is anyone out there? I am now live for our weekly session that's actually proving not to be weekly at all. So we started off these things, so I'm supposed to be joined, hopefully will be joined in a few minutes, by our good friends over at Planet Auto, and the idea was to do these kind of weekly roundup sessions on what we've been up to, and we haven't quite gone weekly, nightly at the moment. Hello to Almari 9006. How you doing? Planet Auto has joined, so I'm just
hello.
Hello. Hi.
1 second.
Oh, there you go. You're outside.
I am.
Oh, but you're glowing red. It's very bizarre, and there's some strange noises. It's as if I'm. It's like the Predator movies. That's what it feels like. You've sort of gone infrared. Now you're just kind of frozen. So it's very much like the Predator movies. So it's all very bizarre. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. You look normal now. Hi to Nabil and Mushtaq. How you doing? So I was just doing an intro, and I was just explaining that yeah, the weekly sessions are not really weekly at the moment, but
No, they're far from it.
they are, aren't they? Hello to Samad. How you doing? Yeah, they are. They've gone to bi-weekly at the moment, but hey, it's not bad. It's something, isn't it? It's something.
No, it's good. We're managing it, so that's a good sign straight away.
Absolutely. Hello to Hamoud. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you all for joining us. So again, this is our weekly, not weekly session that we're doing with Shazad Sheikh, Brown Car Guy, and Planet Auto. And hello to all you guys. How you all doing? And we're just sort of catching up on what we've been up to. So, Ben, what have you been driving? You've been driving quite a few things.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? So, what did I have last week? It's amazing. All these vehicles are starting to, merge into one. I mean, currently there's a Mercedes Vito behind me. Yeah.
What is a Vito for people that are joining? Wakas, hello to you. People are joining us. What's a Mercedes Vito?
It's a 5-meter panel van. It's got a 2.1 litre engine, 6-speed gearbox, and yeah, it's basically a courier van or a work van.
Well, what the hell are you doing with a panel van? Are you moving house or something?
Yeah, no, no, of course not. I thought I'd move into the commercial sector.
You know what you should do? Is it white?
No, it's black.
It's black.
Looks very
that's all right. It could still work. You should sticker it up with Planet Auto all along the side and just drive it around town,
Oh, I'm sure Mercedes would love if I put a wrap round that van, wouldn't they? They'd love me.
Well, they don't need to know. You could take it out before then. I mean, they're obviously not watching this.
Yeah, of course not. And they're not going to be watching any of that YouTube stuff or anything, are they?
They wouldn't know. So how are you getting on with the van? So is this so just for the benefit of people watching, you obviously do car reviews, but you do quite a lot of commercial stuff as well.
Yeah, well, we're trying to move into the commercial stuff. We've been asking various manufacturers for commercial vehicles, but they've been giving us things like the Rifter and the Berlingo, but they've been giving us the ones with all the seats in. So these luxurious things that you can go up and down the country in, not a panel van that you can chuck a tree in the back. Yeah.
And do you think, I mean, not a lot of, media outlets or automotive media outlets actually do commercial vehicles. Do you think, do you see a gap there?
But it's not the case with Ford. For some reason, Ford commercials are booked up way in advance.
All right. That's just people moving home, like I said. I think that's what it is. That's
can I have this on review? What are you doing with it? Oh, well, I might demonstrate how I can move a bed and a sofa and a tree. Oh, all right.
I think a lot of us car journalists have been guilty of that in the past. I might have been. So.
Exactly.
Hello to Anil Boy 75. How you doing? We're just catching up live here with Planet Auto on what we've been up to and what's been going on. So you've been checking out some commercial vehicles and stuff like that. And but
yeah, well, I've got this one. Then next week I've got the Sprinter. Then the X-Class.
The what? So what's the X-Class?
That's that pickup. That's basically a Navara. I mean a Mercedes.
Isn't that? I mean, are they still making that, or are they
Yeah.
sort of winding that down?
Well, yeah, if you read the news, there's nothing official from Mercedes-Benz UK. However, they have implied on various news outlets that it's not doing particularly well, which is sad.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they look great.
I've seen
The thing
one.
is, they've not
I
had
saw
the
one.
American market.
Yeah, I saw one once, not far from my home actually.
Well, that's
And
weird.
I
'Cause
was
I
like,
see
what
loads
is
of them up
that?
here. But it's always the way, isn't it? You'll see a lot more vehicles. I mean, for example, you'll see a lot more Teslas and a lot more electric stuff. Whereas up here, I'll see. I mean, I think it was someone who said, "What's an ASX? I've never seen a Mitsubishi ASX." And I'm like, "Well, they're
Yeah.
everywhere up here. They are literally everybody has one."
No, I don't see any of those down here. No.
Exactly, and there's loads
Yeah.
up here. Loads.
I wonder, I wonder if that's to do with the sort of, how good the dealer is in a certain area, or whether it's to do with marketing, or what do you reckon
I would
that's down to?
certainly say it's a dealer thing up here because there's Norjack in Carnforth, and that's our Mitsubishi garage. And because of it, you see so many Norjack badged vehicles around here. There's loads.
Right. So the dealer's particularly good, particularly active, and that that basically helps in getting the vehicles out there. That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Well, I've just activated my iPad for no reason. So
Why not?
I've just done that by stepping on it. That's probably not good for it, is it?
No, probably not. No.
So and then hi to Zed Hamal. How you doing? How's everybody doing? So and then but you've had some cars. You had a BMW 3 Series, didn't you? How was that?
That was very good. I found that really strange because I got in it and I thought, why does this feel so familiar to me? Because we put the review out now on YouTube. Check it out on Planet Auto. And I don't quite know what it was, but there was something that felt so familiar. And the last BMW I drove was the E36 M3 Evo.
Right.
And
okay,
before
so
that,
a while
the
back.
E30.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I'm talking when they came out.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, here's the irony in that. The E36 M3 Evo that I drove was actually owned by Norjack, which is the Mitsubishi dealer.
Oh, right. Weird.
So, see what I mean? Everything goes a bit mental.
Yeah. So what did you make of the 3 Series then? You say that there was a familiarity about that.
Very good.
Would you say that was because let's say the BMW DNA is still strong in the car?
It must be something like that. It was really hard to put your finger on. I was driving it and just thinking, I love this, and I have no clue why I love this. I can understand why it sells. I really can. And it's still got that iconic kidney grille layout. It's just a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And things like that. It must be the familiarity and the fact that the E30 was always a good, car. It handled well, and it was an interesting, especially things like the 325, because you've owned those, haven't you?
Which I owned, which was a great car. I'm going to come back to that comment. I just want to say hello to Adnan EP3. I want to say to X Muhammad X, and to Sarge Clicks, to Fair 340, and I want to say a big shout out and hello to Jack Rodensel, the former boss of Fiat Chrysler Middle East, based in Dubai. So I hope you guys are all doing well. So we were just talking about the BMW, and now it's very interesting that you say that, because honestly, and although the 3 Series might, to be fair, be an exception, but I've often found with a lot of modern BMWs, I do actually find a disconnect between the traditional BMWs and the modern BMWs, apart from the occasional standout cars, like, for example, some of the 3 Series models, certainly the M2.
The M2
cars, those
I understand that, because the X5 is like traveling on the cloud. The 7 Series is like traveling on a cloud, but you've got power.
Yeah.
And no, that makes sense. The one that I did feel connected to, but still felt almost, what's the word? It's an interesting playoff, because X-Drive I like in the i8, but when I had it in the X1, it didn't feel raw enough for the X1, weirdly. It felt too comfortable somehow.
Yeah, the X1, so that's an interesting. I'm just saying hello to Ramyar Abdullah, how you doing? So the X1, is that the mini-based one? So that's the front-wheel drive one?
The X1's the smallest SUV that they do.
Yeah, so that's the new one. That's based on the Mini Countryman, isn't it?
It's not that new.
Or is it not? It's not that one. Hang on. So which one am I thinking about? What's the last one I reviewed? I can't remember if it was the X1 or the X2.
There's now a
I'll have to
2
look
and a
back
4
now.
and all types of things.
So the last one that I reviewed, I'm going to have to look it up now. I think it might have been an X1 or an X2. And
X2 is the one that's got the little logo on the side of the back wing.
Yeah, so that was the one I did. I mean, I think I drove some BMWs at Yas Marina after that, but that was the last one that I kind of reviewed. And hello to Nizam Ansari 92. How you doing? And you know, to me, that for example didn't feel much like a BMW. I mean, it was an okay car, but it didn't feel like it had the character of a BMW.
No, exactly.
And you know, and I actually concluded the review by saying, you know, just buy the Mini Countryman, you know, because that's what it's going to be based on, just buy the Mini, because it's, you know, the Mini's got a lot of charisma still, you know.
Yeah, I like the Mini.
Yeah.
I'm currently putting a Mini review together now, and I keep looking back at it. And here's a really crazy thing. Michael's been after a new car, and he wants one. He's had no clue. He's been looking at BMs, Mercs, Fiesta STs, you name it. And after driving the Mini...
You know, isn't it, sorry to interrupt, isn't it just crazy, you know, especially when you get car people, and they think, okay, they want to buy a new car, so it's like that old question, like, what's your favorite car? And you're just completely stumped. You're just stumped. It's like, surely he should know what car he wants.
But it's the complete opposite.
I want to say, before we carry on, I just want to say a big, big hello and shout out to James Pikeway, all the way from Dubai, all the way from Canada, our former host on Dubai Eye Radio, did a live show with him for 6 years on Dubai Eye. And yeah, great. I hope you're well, James. I hope all is wonderful with you. James is the most overgrown surfer dude you are ever likely to meet, but he's also the most sharpest intellect you're ever likely to meet, because he's Professor James Pikeway. But yeah, so yeah, go on about the fact that Mike is having trouble choosing a car when he really should know better. Aren't we the people that are supposed to be advising other people on what cars to get?
Well, we can when we can do it to other people, but when it comes to us, there's so many things to look at. This is the thing. I mean, the one he really set his heart on was the Mark V R32 Golf.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But now, in the last week, because he's remembered all the DNA and all this experience that he had in that 60th anniversary Mini, he's now going and looking at all these Minis.
That's it, isn't it? Aren't we a fickle lot, aren't we? We are a fickle lot.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Hello to Said, 392 HP, and James Pikeway. I know he goes home over the summer. It's too hot to be in Dubai in the summer. And he says the Kia has been rocking it for me in the USA this summer. So he must have rented a Kia. So James, which Kia was that, and how did you get on with it? Let us know.
Stinger?
Yeah. Yeah, if it was a Stinger, he really would have been rocking it, that's for sure. Have you had a chance to drive a Stinger yet?
No.
That's one car you want to really get hold of, I think. I mean, it's not anything groundbreaking, but it's groundbreaking in the sense of the Kia automotive industry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks amazing.
Oh, the Korean automotive industry, I meant to say, yeah.
Because there's a Kia dealership very close to us, and whenever we drive up towards the health club, you always see all these Stingers just parked at the side of it, and it's in the middle of Windermere. So you can imagine that Kia Stingers probably sell quite well, being in the Lake District.
Yeah, yeah. That must be good fun, thrashing them around there, I reckon.
Exactly. Well, it's like anything. Any car I have, I take up there and just have fun on the back lanes.
Yeah, I do envy you. You're in a great location. I mean, being in London, honestly, it's like around there, it's almost like driving is a chore. I hate to say this as a car journalist. Driving is a chore around there, you know. Yeah. But where you are, it's just ideal.
That's what I mean. You should come up here, and when we get some fun cars, you should experience them on these
I think I need to do that sometime. Yeah, definitely. So what else has been going on? What else have you been up to over the last couple of weeks?
We've just been looking at booking in new vehicles, and we're getting the MG ZS EV on a week loan in... It's about the 11th of September, so it actually coincides with Revival. We've got the Seat Tarraco before that, which will go down see Blenheim. Are you going to Blenheim and Salon Privé in that?
Maybe, yeah. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Because I think as we might have touched on last time, some friends, some former friends, or no, not former friends, but people that I knew. That's a really weird thing to say. Former friends. We fell out now. We're not friends
It
anymore.
is, yes. Yeah, you're no longer friends with them. That's that.
Just to clarify, that's not what I meant. But people that I knew in Dubai was the Generali guys who actually make the car. They make a sports car, Roadster, in Dubai, and they're going to be doing the official.
They're at Salon Privé, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing the official UK debut of the car in Salon Privé, and I did the story in a couple of outlets that I did, and people seem to be quite interested in that. So if nothing else, and you know, I've had a ride. I rode a ride in that car 2 years ago. You know, so while it was still being developed and sort of pre-production-y. So it'd be nice to be reacquainted with that car. So yeah, so I'm thinking about going to that. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we should meet up down there and do some lives.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, definitely. They're thinking of going to an event this weekend.
I'm going to grab a charger. Won't be a second. I don't want this.
Yeah. Don't want to run out of battery. So while he's off grabbing a charger, and so we're here live with Planet Auto, Shazad Brown Car Guy, and Planet Auto teaming up for a weekly that's not a weekly live update. We started off trying to make these a weekly updates, and then they've kind of turned into sort of 2 weekly updates, which is not bad. You know, it's still kind of consistent, so that's not too bad. And we just like to catch up on what's been going on in the world of motoring and automotive, and what we've been doing as well. And various people joining us live. Great to see you all. Hello to Norris125. How you doing? And yeah, as I was saying, we're just chatting here live with the Planet Auto, who have just gone off to get a battery charger for their phone.
You know what it's like.
Yes, he's back again. There's Ben. And we've just been catching up on, you know, what's been going on and what we're doing and what cars have been reviewed and that sort of stuff. So I was just saying that, you know, I'm thinking quite possibly, I think I'm probably about 80% likely to go off to an event this weekend called Fuel Fest, which is actually organized by Cody Walker, who is the brother of the late Paul Walker from the Fast and Furious franchise. And I believe that he's going to be there. Hello to Shahida. I believe he's going to be there, obviously, because it's his event. But this is the first time they're bringing this event to the UK. It's all done in aid of a charity that was set up by Paul Walker. And he's bringing with him, confirmed at the moment, Tyrese, who's also one of the stars of Fast and Furious. And there are rumors that there may be other people coming along because it's coinciding, apparently, with the UK segment of filming for the next edition of the Fast and Furious movie franchise. So that should be quite interesting. So yes, so stay tuned. If I do go, it's going to be on Sunday. If I do go, then obviously I'll be putting up some stuff here. In the meantime, I don't know if there's time, but if there is time to book tickets, if you check out my social media, if you check out my Instagram feed and also browncar.com, you will find that I have a code there where you can avail a 10% discount on tickets if you book them online and use my code. So go do that if you're thinking of checking out this event. So Ben, you're back. All charged up.
I've just heard you talking about Fuel Fest. Yeah, we've been weighing it up. It's a hell of a long way for us. It's about probably 280 miles or something.
No way, seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long way.
That's what I mean. I mean, to go to London is 260 miles.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's there and back, or that's one direction?
Oh, no, that's there.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
That's what I mean. This is why you don't see me in London that often. Annabelle works there, which is very handy. But yeah, when we go to Goodwood, I mean, it's a full military mission. Because it's such a distance, it's got to be 340 miles or something.
Yeah, I bet, yeah. Wow.
So that'll be a challenge because we'll have that MGZS EV, so we'll have to keep charging it, which is...
Well, you know, that is in itself a test, isn't it? That's a test right there.
Yeah, totally.
That is like, just let's see what the real, you could live blog the impact of range anxiety in action in this EV. That's what
I have range anxiety
like,
with
petrol.
petrol.
I'm down to 20 kilometers, I'm down to 10 kilometers, it's like whatever it is,
Yeah, watching it going up with the regenerative braking and that kind of thing. Yeah. Because I got that in the i8 because I was bombing along in, what was it? The sport mode, and all of a sudden it gave me this warning saying, disengaging sport mode, not enough charge. And I was
Oh
like,
my God, really?
what's
Wow,
that?
that's interesting.
And
Wow.
then it said, you have 1 mile of fuel, and I could see the garage.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
wasn't that worried, but I was
Yeah.
like, it's auto. If it stops, I'm a sitting duck on the dual carriageway.
So that's interesting. So here's a supercar that kind of penalizes you for not being frugal enough and says, you cannot be sporty anymore. You have not
Exactly.
been frugal, and so therefore I am going to turn off your fun factor. That's it.
Yes, exactly. Or it could have been looking out for me and saying, you're a bloody idiot. You're not going to get to the garage. You better do something and think about this now.
Could be. It could be. It could be. It's interesting. Yeah. I don't know. That's a bit weird,
Yeah.
though. The thought of a BMW sort of being the fun police is a BMW.
Yeah, but
fun
I
police
was
car.
going to run out. I was literally sat there watching the gauge and thinking, if I continue at sport mode, I'll get there quicker.
Yeah.
But that's if I get there.
Yeah, you got to weigh it up, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, you could have that last 60 seconds of fun.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that was it. When I had that car, I had it for 10 days and I put 4 tanks of fuel in it because I just, every time I got in it, I just drove it because I permanently had it in sport mode. So it was permanently charging the battery, permanently.
That's it, yeah. Hi to Lizzie IMH and I am Sandy Shaban. How you all doing? I saw an orange one, BMW. You don't see them very often, but I saw an orange one just here down on the high road here. I posted
Orange or e-copper?
Or orange i8, you know.
Actual orange.
Yeah, and it was a very interesting. It was a sharp-looking car actually. Particularly stood out a lot. Hello to Toya Karukulu 69. That's an interesting handle. Anyway, so it is still quite a few years on, quite a striking-looking vehicle.
Yeah.
I tell you, I saw a lot of striking-looking vehicles. Not last weekend, but the weekend before, when I was at the Silverstone Classic. And,
I can imagine. That looks amazing.
I did not know where to turn. Honestly, you just go, wow, that's an awesome car. Oh my God, there's another awesome car. Oh my God, there's another awesome car. It's like, seriously, what do you do?
Well, you saw some of that really early JDM stuff, didn't you? And the Ital design GTR as well.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, we got a bit of a look at that one. We got to sit in it and stuff like that. A one-off at the moment, but they're going to be making 50 of those for quite a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I would wager perhaps too much, but yeah, but they're quite an extraordinary machine. 700 horsepower. Yeah. The guy, I was doing an interview with the guy, and the film is there on my blog. Check it out. And he was saying, we've upped it to 700 horsepower. I'm like, well, that's plenty. And then I'm thinking, in the Middle East, GTRs are generally 1,000 horsepower.
Well, I was going to say the Jun one. You remember the bright yellow R34 Jun one? That was 1,000 horsepower. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that was the previous
2005 one, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like a standard thing to up them to about 1,000 horsepower anyway. Yeah. So yeah.
So you've got like a nice tame version then that looks nice and is totally different. Exactly. That big mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It is an interesting car, but it would be interesting to see what Nissan are going to do with the GTR next. I mean, they have the pictures. The first leaked pictures have come out of the Patrol. I know that Patrol's not a big thing here, but I know in the Middle East market that's really an important vehicle, and that vehicle's been around for like 10 years now. So there's a massive update coming to the car. I don't think it's going to be fundamentally different, but I think there's going to be a massive update, and certainly the interior needed an update on that car. But I think it's going to get a more aggressive look front and rear as well. So it'd be interesting to see. As soon as I get news of that, I'll be posting it up here as well. So going back to Silverstone, I mean, what an incredible event. I mean, I missed this Saturday when it just rained all day. So fortunately, I went on Sunday. But it was still pretty cool, considering that the previous week we'd had a bit of a heat wave. And yet I was very thankful that I'd taken my jacket along on the Sunday at Silverstone. But I always forget because Silverstone is an airfield. So it's always extremely windy. And can get very, very cold. So a top tip for anybody heading to Silverstone, even if you think it's going to be hot, take a jacket because it can suddenly get very, very cold.
Well,
obviously, this doesn't apply to you, Ben.
In the coming weeks.
It doesn't apply to you, Ben, because I know that you're quite cold resistant.
Well, we saw that, didn't we, at Concours, London Concours? I was just walking around in the rain enjoying it.
Yeah, I saw that,
But I'm going to Silverstone with Annabelle in a couple of weeks because there's a Ducati GP race that we've been invited to. So that'll be something completely interesting for us because, I mean...
Do you cover much MotoGP racing?
We don't cover much motorbiking at all, but that's because we've not really had the opportunity to. It's like commercials. But because I'm part Manx, I've still
Yeah.
got like, you know, racing oil running through my blood.
Yeah, right. But do you ride bikes?
No, I used to
Yeah.
ride 50s and 250s and that kind of thing. But Annabelle has actually got a big bike license or
Oh,
whatever
really?
it's called. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I
Oh, maybe
know.
that's something else you should look at. Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there was like, while we were doing Motoring Middle East in Dubai, a lot of people said to us, "Why didn't you introduce bikes?" And that was because neither me nor Imtishan rode bikes, and we were like, we weren't entirely that keen to be getting onto bikes at this point in our lives.
Yeah.
So, but having said that, I believe that Imtishan is teamed up with a friend of ours called Muhammad Mali, who is a bit of a biker. So I think they're doing some biking content now on
That'd
there.
be good to see.
So yeah, so they're doing some of that stuff, but I don't think I'll be moving onto bikes. Onto two wheels.
I don't think I will. It scare me.
Yeah, I think four wheels is that's enough. I think that should be fine. But yeah, but Silverstone was also good because I got to meet and interview Ant Enstead from Wheeler
Yeah.
Dealer.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, very cool guy, and so down to earth, like really, really, you know, down to earth, really ordinary, very friendly, very humble, very nice to get on with. I mean, an incredible guy. I put up the podcast of that interview a while back. And I'm actually I hadn't got round to sorting the video out, so I'm just sorting out now. So hopefully tonight or by tomorrow, I'm going to put the video up as well. And then hopefully you can circulate that and have a look at it. And yeah, it was a good interview. It was really good. It was just more focus on his work with cars and what he's been doing over the last couple of years and stuff like that. But yeah, really good.
Did you see some of the races there as well? Because was there A35s and that kind of thing again?
Yeah, I mean, this is the irony of it, innit? Going to Silverstone Classic, and because like I had to get this interview done, and then I had to do a couple of other things. And if you see, I did a couple of other interviews. I did a walk around of the GTR, as you mentioned, but I also did bit of an exclusive story on the fact that Yokohama are introducing retro classic tires.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that's a
they
really
had them
good
in Japan.
thing.
It's a really good. It's actually a big story that I'm surprised wasn't covered as much as it should have been, because these tires have been available officially in Japan for a while,
Yes.
but not outside of Japan.
No.
But now they are good. So what these are basically their retro look tires. So they look like the original tires from the 80s, but they're modern. So they're brand new. And those people with classic cars will know what a struggle it's becoming to get hold of appropriate looking tires. Of course, you can change the wheels and tires on the classic and put whatever, but if you want the correct wheel tire combination, it gets really difficult, especially because most modern cars are of a much low profile nature and much bigger wheel than the older cars used to be. You know, so it's become a little bit of an issue. You know, like I know, for example, a friend of mine in Dubai is a Lamborghini Countach owner. He's got two of them, in fact, and like you do, and he tells me that, you know, the tires for a Countach the batch is only made once a year. So you put your order in well in advance, because if you miss that batch, that's it. Then you have to wait another year.
You're never getting a tire again. Yeah. Oh my! I never knew they were that hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. It's just the one time they made. That's it. And you will get your orders in advance, otherwise you're going to miss that. You know, and that's it.
My word.
So so it's a real demand for that. So between doing the interviews and looking at cars and trying to fight off the cold, I could hear a lot of action on the track, but I never actually got round to seeing the action. And again, when you go to Silverstone, really, it's if you really want, it's like Goodwood. If you really want to see the event, it's like a 2-day thing, because there's so much going on. There's so many clubs. I mean, I spent an hour talking to the Lotus Owners Club, which you can imagine, you know. So that was an hour gone. As soon as I arrived, I found some.
There's a surprise.
And that was there's a surprise. And there was an hour gone there, because I was talking to one of the top guys at the club, and we just started talking about esprits. And before I looked at my watch, I was like, oh my god, I've got to run, you know. And that was it. So really, the day went very, very quickly, and I never got to actually sit down and see any action on the track. But you know, hopefully at a future event, I'd like to do that, because I do like watching classic racing much more than contemporary racing, because I like the way classics move.
Are you going to be going to Revival then? On that note,
I don't know. I mean, I know you've recommended it very highly. Yeah, I think I better look into. What's the dates for that one? What's the dates for the Revival one?
I'm trying to think. It's around.
We'll look it up.
Around 7th of September, something like that. You know what it's like. Too many dates. I can't keep up. I'll
look into it. I'll see.
Well, that's the thing. That week we've got the Seat Tarraco, and then we've got Concours of Elegance at Hampton Court. Yeah. Then we've got Blenheim with Salon Privé on possibly the Saturday, definitely the Sunday, where we'll see You know, the guy from Dubai with the supercar
Yeah.
manufacturer, and also there's a Slovenian one launching as well.
Yeah, there's a few. There's about 2 or 3 cars that are being launched there. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, this is what's happening. The motor shows are
Revival's
becoming abundant
13th to the 15th
of August, of September.
September.
Wow, wow, it's coming up quickly.
That's what I mean. It's about
Yeah.
a month in,
Yeah.
in everything. And then the thing is, because we're moving down there to go to Concours, we'll then
Yeah.
literally just stay down there till the end of Revival. You know,
Yeah.
book hotels and stay there for about 9 days because there's no point
Yeah.
coming back for 2 or 3
indeed.
days.
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. That'd be quite a jam-packed session. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like, well, you know, stay
Plus, in the
tuned.
middle of it, Michael's going with Subaru to Latvia.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that'd be interesting to drive some e-boxers,
Yeah.
which I still am getting.
I know,
I'm struggling
I
to
know.
get my head
Same
around
as
that.
me.
E-boxers. I mean, so
Platform,
Boxer, for those people
electric.
that aren't aware, Boxer engine, particularly in the context of Subaru and Porsche and Volkswagen with the Beetle, is a flat engine. Cylinders are like that. You know, they go like that, like that. So that's why it's a Boxer engine.
Yeah.
But it's an engine. But they're talking about e-Boxer. Well, he's an electric motor, so how is that a Boxer? I don't understand.
We'll
So
soon find
anyway,
out.
hopefully Mike will be able to enlighten us on that
Yeah.
once he's at the launch, you know, and we can tell us
Well,
a
I've
bit more
told him
about
to
how
go
that works.
live so we can see it all.
Yeah, it should be good. So I'm also doing a couple. I think I should be doing something interesting. I am getting a car next week, I believe. So stay tuned for that. I won't say what it is yet, and I will be going to an event organized by the Southern Group of Motoring Writers, which actually is an event I've been looking forward to for quite a while because it should be interesting, and there should be an opportunity. I'm with my fingers crossed to drive some very interesting metal there. So I'm looking forward to that. So stay tuned for that. And anything I do, of course, I'll be posting up. So stay tuned to that. And then I might be going off to see the premiere of, without giving it away, a major manufacturer entering into the EV arena with something quite exciting.
I don't even know where to think.
I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to go to that, so yeah. Remember?
Yeah, so I'll let you know offline what that
Yes.
is. But
Yeah. No,
so,
that sounds good.
Yeah. So so stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff happening. Lots of cool stuff going on. And thanks to everybody joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for
also,
joining us and listening to our
Antonio
adventures.
440. And as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to be ripping this, hopefully, and putting it onto our YouTube and onto our podcast as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out our podcast. We're on, I'm on Anchor. You're on Anchor as well, aren't you?
I am on Anchor, yeah.
Yeah. So we're on Anchor. You can search for Brown Car Guy and Planet Auto on Anchor. And you can also find us on Spotify and iTunes and all the usual places, actually.
Yeah.
Of course, check these guys out, Planet Auto on YouTube. They
TikTok,
put up stuff
Instagram,
constantly.
you name it, all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. What's the latest videos you've got on your YouTube channel at the moment?
Well, this week I've been playing catch up, so we've literally put pretty much everything up. So the Nissan Navara went live today. That was the N-Guard edition. Also, earlier in the week, the 3 Series that you were talking about, that went live as well. And there's one other.
While you're thinking of that, hello Zane, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So we're just doing a catch up on what's been going on across the week. And Ben is having a long, hard think trying to remember what work he's done this week. So that's how busy he's been. He can't even remember what he's done. So
Well, I'm working currently on the Mini 60th anniversary
There
review,
you go.
as well
Yeah,
as the
that's
Honda
a great looking
NSX
little
that I had
thing.
early summer.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's catching up. I've been doing all these adventures of going places,
Yeah.
doing the lives, but not actually getting on with the reviews that have actually
Yeah.
to go on the channel.
That's the thing, yeah. It's a really tricky balance between making sure you're doing stuff, but also getting content out there. And it's
Exactly.
kind of what
Yeah.
I'm juggling with at the moment because I'm actually dealing with multiple outlets and multiple things. I mean, like last weekend, I was doing something. I was covering an event that was not motoring related.
The
at
Goan
all.
Festival.
Yes, it was the Goan Music Festival, and it was quite an extraordinary event. It was quite
Yeah,
spectacular.
it looked cool.
Yeah, it was quite incredible, and I got to meet something of a Goan legend, a 75-year-old diva, a fantastic singer, and she was there at the event. So check that out. That story in full is on BritishAsianNews.com. I also do a motoring section for BritishAsianNews.com, so you can check that out as well. So I think we're gonna draw the line under this episode today, and we're gonna again promise to catch up again next week.
Yeah.
Which may or may not happen. It may go to 2 weeks. I don't know.
If not, it'll definitely be the week after. It's bound to be.
Next week or
It's
week
amazing.
after. But we're definitely going to continue this.
To get the 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's good fun, and I'd love to hear from you guys if you're enjoying these catch-ups that we're doing. We're certainly having a lot of fun and having a great time doing these.
We are.
And we're going to keep doing them for a while. So thanks so much to everyone for joining. Thanks to you, Ben. Have a great week, and we'll catch up hopefully next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining, guys.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.